So there's so many lessons we can learn, right? Over the last, say, 30 to 60 days of these markets moving down, moving up, there's a lot of lessons we can actually go through. And I want to go through with some of them of what I was talking about with my coaching clients today. And I want to share some of what we're talking about today, just to help you guys out, because nothing is new in the markets and pretty much the same type of things happen. So traders, make sure you grab access. I'm giving away free membership access to my full complete trading course. So if you go to johnsfreegift.com, or that first link in the description, you can see all the details over there. It's a full complete trading course, guys, from the biggest mistakes you're making to the foundations to success, to my trading system, to chart reading strategies. It's like, there's so much in there. Just go get free access to that. So I wanted to start off with this video here because there's so many lessons you can learn, right? Now, one of the first lessons I want to teach you guys is about the fear and greed in these markets. Okay, the fear and greed in these markets is so important to understand in any of these markets. See, one of the things that we see time and time again is this. So if I bring up, say, this chart here of gold, and if I blow, actually, you know what? Let's actually do this here. Let's actually go to, let's go to this chart here with gold, okay? So as you would know that when it comes to this gold chart through here, all right, when it comes to this gold chart, you would know that probably for the last, say, couple of months, I've been warning about that the end of the bull market is here in gold. I just didn't know when. And all through here, right, as soon as we started to break up through here above, say, 2,800, this is when I started warning. I didn't know exactly when the top was going to be in. We had a little rise, and now we're actually having a drop to the downside. So the thing that I really want you to get encouraged with this is that there was a really big, when there's a lot of people being greedy on one side, and I know, guys, because by looking at this market here, and let me go to this chart here, right? This one right here. So by looking at this market here, I know as this market was rising through here, there were so many people telling me that I was wrong and so on and so forth, right? In the comment section below, which it's neither here or there. But I did see there's an overwhelming of people being really, really positive. And so I really want you to step back and think about how can you utilize this to make yourself a better trader moving forward? Because that's what we want to do, right? How do we utilize what we did here? And so the most important thing is the fear and greed of these markets is always the opposite to what you think. And, you know, this is where like self-awareness is such a big thing in trading. So as this market was rising through here, I was sort of letting people know that, hey guys, the market's going up, the market's going up. No one knows exactly where the top's going to be in, and it's never going to happen. You're never going to get that. But there could be warning signs to say it's coming. So just be on the cautious side, right? On the cautious side, and it's coming. And ever since then, we did have a rise, as you can see. But look what's happened ever since. Now, as we speak, we're down about 10. We're getting close to now, down about 10%. And so there was a lot of thinking. Now, I'm not poo-pooing over gold here, right, by the way, guys. I eventually see gold being 10,000. But after we go through a massive booms, bust cycles and so on and so forth, right? So I'm not poo-pooing gold at all. But here's the thing that I do say about gold here that I really want you to understand. And I'm utilizing this not just as a gold perspective, as a market perspective. It's important to be really self-aware of, okay, is there a lot of bullishness around this particular market right now? Any market, stock market, gold, silver, whatever, right? It could be Bitcoin. If there is, we see time and time and time again, we're getting very close towards the end of that move. And that's why I always say that I didn't know when the end was going to be, but I do know ever since that point through there or through here, I'm giving warning signs, because where you should have been looking for trades is through this point through here as the market broke out. Here, we're getting what? We're getting towards the end of the bull movement. And I'm just giving people warning signs because there was a lot of people in the comment section that were saying, John, you don't understand. This is going to 5,000. This is going to X, Y, Z because the central banks are buying. And it's going to keep going up. And you don't understand, John, why gold's going up. You may be one of those people, right? And you know exactly who you are. You thought gold was going to keep going up. Why is gold dropping here? See, I want you to see reality as it is and the way these markets work. So as we can see right now, we're actually seeing that we're actually getting a little bit of a correction out of gold right now. We're getting a bit of a pullback right now. And so I want you to understand that there is a foundational process of how these markets work. And that is that when we actually, and it's a very simple basis, right? Very, 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 very simple thing. Apply 24 moving average over the charts. Forget the fundamentals. The fundamentals don't mean anything, right? The fundamentals drive the price action, but the market does give us swings. And if we start to get too far away from the moving average, we know we're getting we're getting pretty much too far stretched, and we're going to see one of these, and these, right? So the greed has been enormous here. That's the reason why gold is rolling over, because there's been so much greed in the marketplace when it comes to that. So that's a warning sign to not get involved with something. And that was my whole warning signs when it comes to gold here for a lot of people in the markets there. So that was the first thing I do say. Now, the next thing I do say is the stock market. Let's actually look at the stock market here. So with the fear and greed index, okay? And this is where I think a lot of people, and this is where, if you actually go look at my YouTube channel, okay? So traders, you will notice that 3 weeks ago, let me bring this up to here. So traders, check this out. I've been looking. So I did this video here. This is a video here that I did back 3 weeks ago. And I said S&P 7,000 massive rally coming, right? And so we were at, where were we at? We're at this point through here. And actually look at this here. Look at this on this particular chart here, right? This is the video here. This is my trailer video, by the way, guys. This is, if you go to my trailer video, this is my trailer video that I did. As you can see, if I bring it up through here, you can actually see that what do we get here, right? This is going back April 20th. You can see where the S&P 500 was at that time, right? We're down here. Where's the S&P 500 now? Right through here. So the reason why I'm doing this video here for you was what? Right down the bottom here, right through here, there was maximum fear. Then we based out. Then I came out with, we're on our way to 7,500. And the people that you get, like you're an idiot, John, you have no idea what you're talking about, and so on and so forth. It may, like 7,500 may not happen. But one thing I really want you to understand is this, okay? What I was talking about with my inner circle members, because I'm with them, sometimes I'm with them depending on what sort of coaching you go with, but sometimes I'm with them every single day, right? So if you like to get access to that, where you're pretty much with me every single day for about an hour, where I can help you and coach you and guide you through these markets that are rough and tumble and some things here, then you can apply for that on the second link in the description. I've got 2 spots left for this year, and I've been going through a lot of applications. So just fill out the application form, guys. That second link in the description, or go to getjohnshelp.com, and you'll be able to apply for that. But the whole thing here is, what can we learn from this? The first thing is, I gave you an example of greed, right? When there's a lot of greed in the marketplace, we know we're getting towards the end. When does greed happen? Greed happens after the market's already made big moves. Because remember, I'm trying to teach you here right now. I'm trying to teach you simple things you can do, right? Now, simple things you can do to start to apply this to your trading, because every year presents the same opportunities. There is maximum fear, and there starts to become really a lot of greed in certain markets, Bitcoin, whatever. And then we know, okay, I know this is happening right now, so I need to apply this. And then also, times when we're looking to have some good buying opportunities, is when there's maximum fear. And so down the bottom here, what can we learn from this? So down the bottom here was maximum fear. And this is one of the reasons why, as we started to develop through here, I started to develop a target. And you can see here, actually, I even do, let me see if do I show it here? Right here, right? Let's see if do I show it? Yeah, here, right? So I put this O&D target up here, right? This is where we were down the bottom here, as you can see, of this video that I did. And again, this is the trailer video that I did. So, okay, this is where we're coming. And so far, look where are we at right now? We're actually all the way up here, aren't we? So, we may get a little pullback here, bit of an update on the markets. We may get a little pullback, but we're probably going to see a really big move to the upside. But the whole thing about this, guys, is this, okay? I really want you to understand that every year presents the same opportunities, just in different forms. And what is that? Every year, when we're looking at the markets, this is the fear and greed index here, right? Every year we go through these swings, and I really want you to just be smart about the way you're trading, right? And I'll call them pockets of opportunities. Generally, once a year, we get these what's called freakouts in the markets, okay? Freakouts in the markets. And when we see this here, when we see the fear and greed index becoming the ultimate maximum fear, that was where this fear here, if I go to my charts now, was down, that maximum fear was down the bottom here, right? And then we started to form a bit of bottom, and you can see where we're at right now. So the whole thing about what I'm trying to share with you here is I'm trying to share with you one of the hardest things about people that have been trading the markets, if you've been trading the markets, say less than 5 years, you're going through what's called the discovery phase. The discovery phase is what? The discovery phase is you're discovering these markets. You're learning the patterns of these markets and how these markets truly work, right? That's the discovery phase. And I've been trading the markets now for 20 years. In my first 5 years, I went through the same process and I was $250,000 in debt because I was going through the discovery phase. I was learning what is a stock, what is the chart, what's these indicators, what do I focus on? You know, like you're discovering these markets, and then you come to the realization. And this is one thing I do with my coaching, is I teach them that probably 80 to 90% of the stuff that you're utilizing out there right now is a complete waste of time, and all it does is create confusion. And it's only about maybe 10, maybe 20% of the stuff that you actually learn. It's really powerful, that really moves the needle. And that's what I focus on. And then I help my traders, my coaching clients anyway, become a master at that 20%. Because you know, right, the 80-20 rule, right? That the 80% of your results is going to come from 20% of your efforts. And I help people stay focused on that there. But we can see this thing through here, right? So as this market continues to move forward, continue to focus and amplify, or continue to focus on where are we when it comes to sentiment on all these markets, right? Is there a lot of fear around the Bitcoin market? Is a lot of greed around the Bitcoin market? I'm not saying there is right now, but you start to sense, okay, there's a lot of greed here. Gold's having a pullback. There's a lot of fear in the stock market now. See how this is the patterns that, unfortunately, if you're sucked right into the moment, you can't see the forest from the trees. And a month later, you're sitting there saying, "What the hell happened? Why is the market going up for? Like, this doesn't make sense." And then you're trying to make sense of the markets, but it's the same type of trading setups, right? There's fears and there's greeds in the markets, and you can just take advantage of those when they come around. And this is why the average trader who doesn't understand this, if they see the market going down a lot, and then obviously the news is going to reflect that. The news is going to say, you know, obviously the market's going down, and then the recession word comes out, and then all that sort of stuff, right? The fear and so on and so forth, and then the market has a big rally. So that's what I wanted to start off with here, guys, is that just understand the sentiment of that there. If you're looking to have these pockets of opportunities to take advantage of that. When it comes to the actual market updates from here, guys, from an actual stock market perspective from here, we have actually had a very big move to the upside. And as you know, if you just see how the markets work without any of your opinions and your theories, the markets go through what? They swing, don't they? They go through swinging even through here. So this will eventually have a bit of a swing down soon, or it may go sideways. We're getting close to a point of where we're probably going to have another swing back down, and then we can reassess. Is this a swing back down before that, or is there something else happening around the actual stock market from here? And the same for gold as well too, right? As we're seeing, gold is actually continue to have a bit of a drop to the downside. We'll continue to roll over from here. And once again, guys, when it comes to the gold market, this is where, like so much I've been saying, obviously in this video, that what's going on here with the actual bull market, with gold from there. So let's go have a look at, there's a few markets that I really want to share with you here. And the first one is, one of the markets I've been really honing in on is the energy sector, right? Look at this energy sector. So this energy sector has had a huge head and shoulder formation. And as you can see, and now we're actually rolling down from here. And now we're rolling down even more. And as you can see, with the moving average coming down, high, lower high, right? Two simple things you can utilize on your charts right now with no indicators and no nothing, right? It's just trend analysis, lows and highs, and moving averages, right? And as you can see, now we're actually pushing back to the downside. And you can see we had a big drop today of 2% on the health sector. So the health sector looks really, really, really weak right now. There's a lot of weakness within the health sector, which is quite weird, because if I bring up the weekly charts, you can see we've had an extraordinary quality bull market here out of the health sector. But now this is now just holding here where it is right now, and we're probably going to start to see a lot more downside to come out of that one through there. So that's the health sector I'm keeping a close eye on. And there's some really nice setups within the actual health sector stocks itself that I've been focusing on. If I go to USO is also still potentially setting up quite nicely as well too. We've got the moving average, got the 52 coming straight down. So it'll be really interesting to see what actually happens here. If we do start to break this sort of $60 level, that's when we're probably going to start to see the market probably start to go down. And when we start to, this is where I'm looking to get into a trade myself, based off my rules of what I'm focusing on there. And the last thing that I really want to sort of focus on here, guys, is the energy sector. Right now, the energy sector has been just having a nice rise through here, but this is a cautionary tale here, right? A cautionary tale or cautionary movement within the market is we have been making within the bull market. As long as we come down, make high, low, bull market, bull market, bull market. See these high lows, high, low, high, low, high, low, bull market. Bull market, something changed. See how this low was broken. Higher lows, we know, bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market. What's this? I'll eventually get, what's that? And then what we get, right? When we get that, we then get a down, we tend to get a rally, and then what can potentially happen, and this is where the warning signs are on big time, is that this bull market one is over. Secondly, when it comes to this level here, if we start to roll over and start to go down through here, we have now developed a lower high from here, and then we break there. And that's exactly what we're getting here, right? Look at this here. Look at this here. Bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market. It broke a lower low. This could just be a fake out rally, and if we roll over, the moving average is coming down through here. If we do roll over and do something like that and break down, especially past this level through here, which was all this resistance through here, we are about to get crushed in the markets from there. So there we go, traders. Traders, once again, if you really do need help, if you are absolutely serious in the trading, if you've been trading the markets now for many years, you've been learning a lot of stuff with the markets, but you just still are struggling, you're confused, you're not sure when to get in, not sure when to get out, and you would like to be part of a community as well too, and you'd like to have an actual coach who does really well out of trading to help you and coach you and guide you down the right path, then this is what you need to do right now. Go to getjohnshelp.com. There's an application there. Fill out the application. You'll be personally speaking with me on the phone, and then I'll have a really good chat with you to really help you out. This is only for serious traders. This is not for tire kickers. There is work to be done, and I'm looking for people that are committed and disciplined, because if you can be committed and disciplined, I can show you the strategies, the techniques, and the mindset thinking processes to really help you take your trading to a whole new level. Why? Because my first 5 years, I struggled. I was $250,000 debt, and I had no idea. Through my last 15 years of getting access to a few multi-millionaire profitable traders, they've really set me straight. I'm now doing really well myself. I understand these markets a lot more, just like I taught you today, and I can impart this knowledge onto you as well. So go to getjohnshelp.com, go to getjohnshelp.com right now, and go fill out the application form, and I'll speak to you real soon.